I am over 60 years old this year, and I have a happy family. I have a husband, children, and grandchildren. Our children have their own families and do not live with us. We are a happy elderly couple, both retired, and our family often gathers on weekends with our children and grandchildren. As usual, during last year's holiday, while our family was eating and chatting together, the doorbell suddenly rang. It was a young woman. I couldn't determine her exact age, but she was definitely younger than me. She came to inform my husband that they had a child together and demanded that he take responsibility. My family was utterly shocked by this revelation. I could barely stand, while my daughter reacted harshly to the woman. However, after delivering the news, she left immediately, not forgetting to leave a final warning. If my husband refused to take responsibility, she would make this matter public for everyone to know. After the door closed, our family sat down together and questioned my husband about what had just happened. He remained completely silent, as if silently admitting to everything. I couldn't bear it anymore, and my daughter had to help me to bed. Since that day, I have been in unbearable pain, and my health has deteriorated. For so many years, my husband and I had always been happy. To me, he was a good husband, a respectable father to our children, and a loving grandfather to our grandchildren. In the eyes of our friends and colleagues, they had always admired the love we shared. Because I loved him so deeply and felt so happy, I could never have imagined that this day would come. Since that fateful day, I have not been the same person. Every morning when I wake up, I feel as if I am living in a world I no longer recognize. To others, I am still a wife, a mother, and a grandmother, but deep inside, I feel like a shattered vase that has been pieced back together, its cracks still visible, no matter how hard I try to cover them. Family meals continue as usual, but I can no longer taste the familiar flavors. I look at my husband, the man I have loved for decades, and he suddenly feels like a stranger. I know he is in pain. I know he regrets it. But what about me? Who will see my pain? I have asked myself countless times, what about me? What did I do to deserve this? I have spent my entire life loving and nurturing this family, only to find that in the end, I am the one left to bear it all. The long nights stretch on, and though I lie beside him, it feels as if an invisible chasm separates us. I turn my back to him, letting silent tears soak into my pillow. He no longer dares to touch me, no longer dares to look at me for too long. The way he remains quiet, as if awaiting a sentence from me, only deepens my pain. I am angry at him, a fury I cannot put into words. I am angry because he betrayed me, but I am also angry because he made me love him too much. So much so that even now, despite the pain, I cannot bring myself to hate him entirely. There are moments when I want to scream, to break everything, to walk out of this house and never look back. But then, I sit down, clutch my chest, and whisper to myself, we have spent a lifetime together. Should I really throw it all away over one mistake? But if I forgive him, will I still be myself? Will I ever be able to love him the way I once did? Or from now on, will I simply be living in a marriage that is no longer whole? Because we have a happy family, no matter how much pain I feel, I must endure it. I bite my lips to keep the tears from falling, to avoid making this scandalous, to protect my husband's dignity and our family's reputation. Meanwhile, my husband silently accepts the scolding from our children. I am angry at him, and I also pity myself. The pain is unbearable. Lying in bed for days, I kept thinking about what I should do, what I must do. I do not want a divorce. I do not want to lose my family. I am old now. I cannot leave my husband, not when we have children, grandchildren, siblings, friends, and a reputation to uphold in society. Oh, how I wish that day I had been stronger, more composed, so that I could have told my husband to go out and settle things with that woman on his own. If only I had spared myself from this endless torment. He should have been the one to take responsibility, to handle this on his own. Or, if only my husband had been a cruel man, an unkind husband and father, then this decision would have been easier to make. But we were truly happy, perhaps. That is why this pain cuts even deeper. In the end, I chose to gather the family and confront this matter together. Since our children had witnessed everything that day, I decided to call them home for a family meeting over the weekend. On the day of the family meeting, I saw my husband sitting there, his head bowed, his hands tightly clasped together, looking more worn out than ever. For the first time in days, I realized he was afraid too, afraid that I would not forgive him, afraid that I would let go, afraid of losing the family he had always cherished. I listened as he spoke, his voice choked with emotion, his eyes red with sorrow. I had never seen him this vulnerable before. During the meeting, I wanted to hear my husband's thoughts on how he intended to resolve this matter. That's right, I wasn't asking what I wanted, but rather, I needed to know what he wanted, how he planned to handle this situation. My pride was immense. I did not want to lose my family, but when faced with a child born outside of our marriage, I wasn't sure what my husband's choice would be, so I needed to hear his decision first. He admitted that it had been a moment of weakness, fleeting emotion before a beautiful woman. He never expected to have another child at his age. He said he loved me, loved our family, loved our children. He did not want to lose any of it. He apologized to me and to our children. He begged for forgiveness. As I listened to his words, my tears fell uncontrollably. I was furious with him. Yet I couldn't help but feel pity for his weary figure. He pleaded with me and our children to allow him to support the child financially, to allocate a portion of his pension for the child's needs. He did not want to lose our family, but he also could not turn his back on the child. He wept in agony, and I, too, was drowning in pain. And then I broke down in tears. Not because of the pain, but because of exhaustion. I was tired of the endless torment. I was tired of weighing right and wrong. I was tired of myself, of the love I still had for him. I hurt because he had betrayed me, but I also hurt because he could not bear to lose me. My children comforted me, yet they remained silent, waiting for my decision. I understood then that they had already accepted their father's choice. In the end, I chose to forgive, not because the pain had faded, but because I did not want to live trapped in resentment. I did not want to turn the rest of my life into an endless prison of bitterness. I did not want to die with a heart full of wounds that would never heal. I accepted the truth. I accepted my husband's mistake. I accepted forgiveness as the price of preserving our family's happiness. I did not want to let this situation spiral further, to let it consume me. Above all, I pitied myself. I wanted to set myself free, to release the resentment, to embrace life more fully.